everybody, welcome back to another amazing holiday edition of Q-Tips. We are the Video Store Junkies, and we are back to bring you a few recommendations to watch on streaming over the weekend. So we're going to jump into it like we always do, and I'll pass this over to Zach.
Oh, well, thank you, Renee. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah,
Renee, I actually want to use this opportunity to address an issue that I think has been a problem for a while, but I think a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but I do. I like to talk about the tough issues. So that's what I'm about to do here. I'm, of course, talking about the huge problem with Hollywood hunks taking roles of weirdos and dorks. Okay, We see what you're doing. First of all, you're taking roles away from the rest of us. Second of all, no one believes you. Okay, we know you're a Hollywood hunk. I don't care if you put on glasses or you use a weird affectation in your speech or whatever. And there's one Hollywood hunk I want to call out specifically because he's done this a couple times. And in fact, I am getting to my point because he does this in my first recommendation tonight. I am, of course, talking about Hollywood hunk Jamie Foxx. Okay, and Jamie Foxx, sex symbol. I believe he's a recording artist too, right? So yeah, he's multi-talented. Obviously, he's got a lot going for him. But he insists, apparently, on just taking on these roles of, kind of dorks and losers. And I don't know. I've got a problem with it. So he's actually done this in a few movies. And I just realized he's done this in two movies that I can think of specifically where he plays a character named Max. I'm, of course, talking about The Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he plays Electro. The character's name is Max. But no, I'm not recommending Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm recommending the other movie where he plays a slightly less weird character, but still kind of a loser nonetheless. I'm, of course, talking about 2004's Collateral, where he plays another character named Max, who's driving his taxi. But not as a full-time job. He's just doing it, until he gets some stuff off the ground, which I love. I really love his character. It strikes so true. Just his line in this movie, which I'm not giving anything away here, but he keeps telling people that. And then at one point, a character asks him, "Well, yeah, so how long have you been driving?" And he's like, "About 12 years." And I don't know. I that resonates with me a lot. But anyways, so the film is Collateral. If you're not familiar with the plot here, you got Jamie Foxx. Hollywood hunk Jamie Foxx, but you also have Hollywood hunk Tom Cruise, and in one of his few villain roles. That's right. I'm just gonna keep saying Hollywood hunk. You also have Hollywood hunk Mark Ruffalo in this movie, but yeah, Tom Cruise in one of his rare villain roles because he's basically going around town killing people, and he recruits Jamie Foxx's character to kind of assist him and basically be his driver for the night. This is back in the day when you could actually get excited about Michael Mann films. This was his transition from super 80s stuff to super 90s stuff to super 2000s stuff before he kind of started making really bad 2000s, late 2000s stuff. So it's kind of interesting because he's definitely one of those filmmakers who really latched on to the whole digital revolution, I think, pretty early. And he does some interesting stuff with it in this movie. Check it out. It's Collateral. It's got multiple Hollywood hunks. It also has non-Hollywood hunk Javier Bardem in it, who I barely recognize in this movie, but I love him so much. It also has Hollywood hunk Peter Berg. Does he count as a Hollywood hunk, do you think, Peter Berg? He doesn't do a lot of acting, and I don't think he's really known for his hunkiness, but I don't know. He's still got some hunk quality to him. So I'm sorry.
I'll give it to him.
I'm gonna pass it over to you now, Renee, because speaking of Hollywood hunks, Renee, what's your first pick? Oh, I should say, sorry. Collateral is streaming on Paramount Plus, or as I like to call it, Hollywood Hunk Plus. Renee, what's your first pick for this New Year's weekend?
Oh my God, I have to tell you though, when you said Jamie Foxx, the first thing that popped in my head was Jamie Kennedy. I was just like, oh God, yes, Hollywood.
Jamie, people don't realize in real life Jamie Kennedy is actually like a stone cold fox. He just plays an absolute weirdo in all of his movies.
Yes, exactly.
That's it.
God.
Oh man.
So my first recommendation, because we are coming up to New Year's, my first recommendation is a New Year's inspired pick, and it is 1980's New Year's Evil. a radio host is tormented by this man, this crazy madman who is going around killing these women basically at the stroke of midnight. And it's very punk. There's a lot of music. It's very goofy and like unintentionally funny. But there's not a lot of selection of New Year's movies that are like horror based. And I didn't really want to recommend any Lifetime movies to you guys. I would not do you like that. And it also has Grant Kramer in it. And Grant Kramer was a staple of my USA Up All Night watching childhood. So yeah, my my first recommendation is New Year's Evil. And you can watch that on Amazon or even on YouTube. So yeah, there you go. And I'll pass this back to you, Zach.
No, thanks, Renee. You know, it just occurred to me, Stroke of Midnight would be a great title for a porn film. Anyways, I'm sorry. We're way off the rails today. We don't have, usually we have Paul and Bill here to kind of like keep us focused, but they're both off today. So yeah, sorry guys, we're off the rails before we even start. Okay, so my second recommendation, this is one of those weird movies. Occasionally I make recommendations that have kind of like asterisks, and this is definitely one of those asterisks. Because I don't think this is a great movie. I don't even know if it's a good movie. It definitely has some good moments to it. But I'm recommending it because it is a film that you absolutely have to give props to the filmmakers for releasing this film. And I'll tell you why. The name of the film is 5/25/77, which if you're a film fan or a nerd of any type, you probably know it was the release date of Star Wars. So you can probably kind of guess what this movie's about. It is a coming-of-age drama about a young man who dreams of making films, and he actually gets a sneak peek at Star Wars before it comes out, and then it becomes his kind of driving mission in life to see it in the theater. So the reason, though, this film, I think, is notable, and the reason I think it's worth watching, if you like films, if you like... I don't know, like weird. It's almost like one of those movies that is bound to be a piece of trivia at some point. So the reason I'm recommending this just came out. I believe it came out last month, and it's currently streaming. If you want to see it in streaming, which is probably where you're listening to the show, it's on Showtime and also apparently Fubo and DirecTV. So that's where you can find it. But the thing about this movie that kind of makes it so interesting is this film, which was just released, started shooting in 2004. And this is a movie that has taken so long to come out. Apparently it shot in 2004. It shot for a couple of years. And then, this movie is old enough to vote. It just came out. It's already old enough to vote. And it's also old enough to buy a copy of Stroke of Midnight on DVD. So the thing I love about this movie, though, it's if you watch this movie, you can tell that they basically spent 18 years making it. It's really kind of weird because there are definitely some insert shots that they took like a CGI version of one of the actors like 15 years after they shot the scene and had to like do an insert, or I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's not great, but it's just kind of fascinating to watch it and just know like how long it took them to make this. And also, like I said, kudos to the filmmakers. Obviously, like it takes a lot of dedication to make any movie, and the fact that they spent so long trying to get this one out is kind of phenomenal. Actually, hold on. I'm trying to remember. Did Spider-Man 2, did that come out in 2003? I'm trying to remember now because let me look it up here. Oh no, okay, so it did come out in 2004. Okay, so this is relevant because this is an interesting piece of trivia. so this movie started shooting the year that Spider-Man 2 came out.
Oh my god.
And it was released. Hold on. It was released. There would be let's see, 3, 4, 5. There would be 6 Spider-Man movies released over the course of this film being produced. And the reason I mentioned Spider-Man specifically is the star of the movie, who is actually, I've been wanting to see this movie since it was announced back in 2004, because it stars John Francis Daly, who some of you may know from Freaks and Geeks as the main character, or one of the main characters. But he still acts, but he's gotten out of acting, and it took so long for this movie to come out that he actually went on to co-write one of the Spider-Man movies that came out 13 years after this movie started. So that just gives you an idea of how long he basically had half a career in the time it took for this movie to actually come out. So anyways, I just think that's kind of funny.
That's fantastic.
He's also co-writer of the new D&D movie coming out next year, so check that out if you're a John Francis Daley fan like I am. But in the meantime, check out once again. You've probably already forgotten after this tirade. The name of the film is, these are all numbers. It's 5-25-77. It's on Showtime, Fubo, and DirecTV. And again, it's just kind of an interesting. And don't get me wrong, there's some, like I said, there are some great moments. It is kind of a fun little indie film. I think it's like over 2 hours. I think honestly, it's kind of weird that they spent 18 years making this, and then they probably could have still cut out 20 minutes. So I don't know. They could have tightened it up a little more in the editing room, but whatever. Check it out. It's worth watching, and it's kind of a weird experience. Just knowing what went into making it. So, speaking of weird experiences, Renee, what do you got for your second pick or your final pick this year? I guess?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're right. You know what? I couldn't think of a better movie to make my final recommendation of the year. I just watched this movie over the weekend, and I have to tell you, it's one of those situations where I'm happy because I could get it in before Paul, because I know he would recommend it too. It is called Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. What a fucking great movie. Holy shit, this movie is good. So, long story short, there's a tech billionaire. He invites a bunch of his friends over for a murder mystery party. And every time you have a murder mystery party, somebody ends up dying. Does that happen to you when you have a murder mystery party?
Pretty much every weekend. I had to stop having them because the police got suspicious.
Yeah.
And I was running out of friends, so...
Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's really, if you guys know the Knives Out series, it's a good old murder mystery. This movie is so freaking great though. It's on Netflix, and I really recommend it. So yeah, that is my last recommendation of the year.
Renee, can I actually, before you sing us out on the Glass Onion theme song, I totally forgot. Going back to my first recommendation, there was a note that I had, and I was so busy being angry at Jamie Foxx for being such a Hollywood hunk. I totally forgot. So we talk about IMDb trivia a lot on this podcast. And how 100% reliable it is.
Absolutely,
right?
Yes.
That's come out before. So I want to read a piece of trivia from the IMDb, because I watched this movie, and I usually after I watch a movie that I haven't seen in a while, I go and just let's look up some trivia. Not so much anymore because it's all bullshit, but I did this time. And here's the piece of trivia I wanted to read. All right, so and this is again, Max is the Jamie Foxx character, and Vincent is the name of the Tom Cruise character. So here's the trivia from IMDb.com. Although Max refers to himself as collateral in the scene where he briefly stands up to Vincent after the hitman kills the jazz club owner. Spoilers, sorry. That's not where the movie got its title. The original script had Vincent's professional name as Vincent Collateral, and there's a deleted scene that confirms this. The title was considered for a change after the unsuccessful release of the Arnold Schwarzenegger action film Collateral Damage, but everyone agreed that they shouldn't avoid a title everyone liked just because it echoed a movie that no one cared about. I only wanted to highlight this because obviously this piece of trivia is 100% made up. There is no deleted scene or original script where the character says his name is Vincent Collateral. But kudos to whoever put this up here, because it made me. I've been laughing about this for the last I watched the movie last night, and I've been laughing about it all day. So there you go. Yeah, watch this.
It sounds like a Sims character.
It does. It's just, I just love the idea that I don't know. Yeah, just the idea that they would actually have the name of the character be something random like that, just so they could call the movie Collateral. But anyways, it's like what was Tom Cruise's name in Top Gun? I don't even remember.
Oh God,
man, I'm trying to remember now.
I don't even know.
Yeah, hold on, I gotta look it up now. Oh yeah, of course. It's Maverick, but his name is Pete Mitchell. But what if his name was Pete Maverick Mitchell Top Gun? He's like, I'm Pete. It's me, Pete Top Gun. I love it. I want Tom Cruise now. I want Tom Cruise now to be like every movie which stars him. I want it to be named after his character. That's all I want.
Yes.
And now I'm just going back and looking up Tom Cruise movies and thinking about which one would be the funniest. But anyways, so yeah,
like Lawrence Impossible.
Lawrence Impossible. Oh man. Or that classic film where he plays the character Jack Legend in Ridley Scott's 1985 Legend. Okay. I'm sorry. I think that's enough of that, folks. I'm sorry. I know that I have no self-control, and Renee's too nice to stop me. So we should probably put this one to bed before.
Yeah. So you got anything to sing us?
Oh, I do actually. This is so I do have this, now. This is actually a deleted song because they couldn't use it because they deleted the scene. But this is the original song, the original theme song to 2004's Collateral. Bum, 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 bum. My name is Vincent. Bum, 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 bum. Collateral. Bum, 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 bum. I'd like to go out. Bum, 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 bum. And create collateral. Bum, 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 bum. I don't know. I got nothing. Let's just cut that out and let's just get to the recap.
For the weekend of December 30th, Zachary recommended Collateral, available on Paramount Plus, and 5/25/77, available on Showtime, Fubo, and DirecTV. I recommended New Year's Evil, available on Prime Video, Paramount Plus, and YouTube, and Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, available on Netflix. Oh, that was great. Yeah. I swear one day I'm going to figure out how to use auto-tune.
Perfect. I love it.
What was the movie at the IMDb trivia that was like, there was a squirrel?
Oh, that was I actually remember this because it was so fucking stupid. It was not a piece of trivia. It was a goof. And I believe the film was Resident Evil Apocalypse. And that was listed in the goof section because there's a scene where there's like a car drives up to a building and they're like, there's a squirrel in the shot. Like somehow the director was supposed to say, cut, get that fucking squirrel out of here. What the fuck? There's not a squirrel in the script. Oh my God. Anyways.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's great.
So good.
Okay.